Good morning. Good morning. My name is Andrew Ottman. I'm Vice President of Marketing and Communications at Middle Tennessee State University, and it is my pleasure to be here today to join in with our partners and friends with Hoare Construction for this fantastic topping out ceremony that they're holding to congratulate and thank their workers on this great achievement. I want to welcome our viewers with True Blue TV and the university social media channels seeing this broadcast here from the Shelbyville Municipal Airport. As I mentioned, this is a ceremony for Hoare Construction and the milestones in which they are celebrating. And who best to talk about this and the great work by these teams is their regional president. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jason Bennett.
Good morning. Good morning. I was recently informed by Miss Jamie Brewer with MTSU that the contractor is responsible for the weather. So it's quite interesting. Some of you might have been here back in the winter when we arrived, and we were having a fantastic groundbreaking ceremony, and it was about 0 degrees. Yeah. So again, we'll assume all of the responsibility for the bad weather and the hot weather today, but we're also going to take a lot of credit for what we have going on out there. But in addition to that, we want to be sure and thank our partners that we've been working with, Thomas Miller as the lead design team, MTSU, the Board of Trustees, everyone that has had either a big or small part in what we've established so far. So I also want to mention that as we are having this ceremony, construction is all about milestones, and for us, it's on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. This is a very big one for us. We can actually all see the shape and structure of the building that's going to be up out there, and I know that everyone is excited. And on behalf of Hoare Construction, I want to thank everyone for letting us be a small part of it, and enjoy the rest of the ceremony. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Jason mentioned, we do have members of our Board of Trustees here. You'll be hearing from Chairman Steve Smith in a minute, but let's give him a round of applause as the chairman. We'll single him out individually. We also have here with us Trustee Granberry, Jimmy Granberry, Tom Boyd, R.J. Ware, John Floyd, and Bill Jones. And I think that's everybody I've got. If you're another member of the trustees, come and fire me immediately. But let's give our entire Board of Trustees represented here a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating the 25th year of President McPhee's leadership of Middle Tennessee State University. He's been responsible, working with our trustees and state legislative partners, with more than $2 billion worth of new construction for our university, including new buildings, renovations, and other projects. This project that we're celebrating today, the topping out ceremony, represents a huge investment by the state of Tennessee to invest in a world-class aviation program for a world-class facility here at the Shelbyville Municipal Airport. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce our president. Welcome him up here, folks, Dr. Sidney A. McPhee.
Thank you, Andrew, and good morning. Good morning. Now, before I begin my remarks, I want to thank Hoare Construction for inviting us. This is their event, and we really appreciate the opportunity to be here to make this celebration. Let's give them another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very special day for us and for Hoare Construction. So thank you all for joining us as we celebrate, as you heard, this milestone at MTSU Aerospace Training Facility, but most importantly, to recognize the exceptional team hard work that has made this day possible. Today is a celebration of the outstanding men and women of Hoare Construction, along with the many subcontractors. You've heard a number of them been mentioned, firms, project managers, and of course, MTSU incredible campus planning staff. Let's give them all a round of applause for the great job that they have done. Now, through their dedication, their craftsmanship, teamwork, and commitment to safety, they have achieved what I would call remarkable progress in a very, very short time period. We're honored to join in recognizing their efforts and celebrating their significant achievement. So we gather here today for a traditional builder's ceremony marking the placement of the final structural beam atop the facility. The beam signing, the evergreen tree, the American flag are all long-standing symbols of pride, of workmanship, collaboration among trades, and optimism for the future. So for more than 1,000 years, these traditions served as a way to honor the people whose skills and dedication transform plans on paper into structures that will serve generations. Now, while this facility will be an important part of MTSU and the assets of our university, today really belongs to the construction team. This topping out ceremony is a testament to what can be achieved through careful planning, shared purpose, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. It seems, as you heard just only yesterday, that's about 6 months ago, that we gathered here to break the ground on this $62 million project. Today we mark another milestone as the facility reaches its halfway point and it takes shape as one of the finest flight facility centers in the nation. Let me repeat that, one of the most outstanding aerospace programs. So again, on behalf of our Board of Trustees, our students, our faculty, our staff, our alums at Middle Tennessee State University, please accept our sincere gratitude. And I would be remiss if I don't point out and say a special thank you to members of the Shelbyville City Council, the mayor, the staff. Ladies and gentlemen, they have been awesome in welcoming our university and providing great support. Would you stand and let us thank you for all that you've done for our great university? So congratulations to all involved in this achievement. I had a 2-hour speech, but when I saw the temperature, I thought I better cut this down to about 2 or 3 minutes. So congratulations, and we look forward to some great things happening in this community between MTSU and this great city and county. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President McPhee. I'd like to put our chairman, Steve Smith, on the spot to say a few words on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Smith.
Well, I'm excited. The crowd here represents what communities should. It's going to be a big deal. It is a big deal for Shelbyville. I hope it's a great deal for Hoare Construction. I hope they make a good profit, because that's what they're in business to do. But there's several people, and you mention one, you leave somebody out. We wouldn't be here without Bill Lee, without Governor Bill Lee and his Deputy Governor Butch Ely. We wouldn't be here. We went to them with a number, and they said, what would it take to really do it? And it was like asking for a moonshot or to go to Mars. And they said, good, we can do that. So it's a miracle of state cooperation. We've got a great aeronautics school. We intend to be the #1 in the country. And I'm excited and proud to represent your Board of Trustees. And we need to thank our people that got it through the state, because all this wouldn't happen without 70 or so million bucks. That's a lot of jack. And the obstacle that we were presented provided this opportunity. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you for Charles Feldhouse, a high school friend of mine, helped us figure out a way to finance this. So thank you very much. We're excited. We're looking forward to getting it finished and starting the next one. So God bless America, and thank you for MTSU.
Thank you, Chairman Smith. This week is a big week for our Department of Aerospace. Not only are we celebrating this topping out ceremony, but as we speak, members of the Department of Aerospace are at the EAA Air Venture in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That's the Experimental Aircraft Association. To call it an air show is an injustice because it is the largest aviation experience in the world, and MTSU has proudly been front and center right behind the control tower on the way to the flight line, representing this great university and talking about our great program, but also welcoming to EAA our alums and supporters. Trustee Granberry is going to be joining us tomorrow, along with Provost Mark Burns and Dr. Greg Van Patten, Dean of the College of Basic and Applied Sciences. Let's give Provost Burns and Dean Van Patten a round of applause and say thank you to them for all that they do. Chairman Smith mentioned the extraordinary political leadership that really took the steps to make this possible. And joining us here is the mayor of Shelbyville. I'd like to now put him on the spot at this ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Randy Carroll. Come on up, Mayor.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Dr. McPhee. Thank you, MTSU. Thank you for the city council members that are here. If you would stand one more time, the city council members for the city of Shelbyville. Everybody worked so hard on the legal documents and the contracts, and we had such a wonderful relationship with MTSU. It's wonderful today to celebrate this on our 250th anniversary of our country, and we're having this aerospace facility built in Shelbyville. Anytime that you look forward to a new construction, you usually have all kinds of issues that you deal with. We have had very little problems. I have had no calls about anything, and for a mayor, that's good. This morning, I'm trying to stay cool, but it's very hot out here this morning, so I'm gonna just cut my talk very short by saying, welcome to Shelbyville again, MTSU, and all of the students and all of the future that's going to happen. And when that student one day says, I received my degree at MTSU's facility in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate you and appreciate the City Council and all the support and help and backing to make this possible. You know, it takes a great builder to build a facility like that, but you also have to have a great plan to follow. Could we give a round of applause to the members of the architectural firm TMP who are represented here today? I think I'm looking at a couple here. Let's give them a round of applause. Y'all stand and let's recognize you. This is a beautiful facility. You've seen the renderings, and it's just going to be fantastic in person. And, you know, we are very, very proud. Dr. McPhee, when he travels, he's always wearing his MTSU gear. When he boards an aircraft, invariably somebody is going to come from the flight crew or the support team and says, MTSU, I got my degree at your university, and I shook your hand going across the stage. One of those alums is the director of this airport. And to close us out, we're on his airport. Let's let Paul Perry, the airport director, say a few words on behalf of this wonderful facility. Paul, come on up.
Well, I think most everybody's covered quite a bit, so I'm going to continue the welcome. It's been in Hort construction situation, we've been able to work with them quite well. There's been, there's a lot of demand that people don't recognize having to do construction right next to a runway. And they've been really good to work with. They've really taken in consideration anything that we've had to put out there as a demand that's necessary for an airport. So we really appreciate the fact and look forward to completing this project. The problem is going to be trying to keep the public from wanting to just wander over here, because I know what the buildings are going to look like. I know everybody's going to be flying in here just to pull up in front of this building, and we're going to say, no, you need to go down that way to the terminal building. But we'll figure that out. That's a good problem to have, because I know I'm looking forward to this Taj Mahal that we're going to have here on this airport, and we welcome MTSU as always, but we also appreciate the fact of working with TPM and Hoare Construction through this process. Thank you.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the action part of this show, and I'm not quite sure how this beam is going to leave this table and get out there, but I bet you some of these folks in the very, very bright yellow vests are going to make that happen. So we'll conclude the formal speaking part of the program here. So on behalf of Middle Tennessee State University, thank you to everyone who made this day possible. We're looking forward to this wonderful facility coming online and continuing to grow our world-class aerospace department and continue our tradition of flight training leadership for the state, the nation, and the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We appreciate you.